gaano kadalas and gaano katagal sa tingin mo yung kailangan na session for mentoring? Kasi students may come from different different ranges. So meron mga students yan na parang araw-arawin ka, natatanungin ka, na pero yung tanong sa iyo is pwede mo sagutin in less than 2 minutes, less than 1 minute. Meron naman diyan mga students na gusto nila is once a week. Parang ganoon, may mga na once a week lang. Pero bigyan mo ako ng time to execute. 'Di ba? Yung isa is hold my hand every day. Yung iba naman is gusto nila ng 5 hours na mentoring. Nabanggit ni John Maxwell, sumubo. Nabanggit ni John Maxwell kanina about yung mentor niya, yung sinasabi niya kumaway sa kanya sa balcony, parang 4 hours yata. Tama ba? 4 hours na mentoring session yung naganap sa kanila noon. So, gaano ba katagal? And gaano ba kadalas? That's my question to you, Henry Tan.
So, yun nga, yung nasabi mo, iba-ibang case para sa iba-ibang students. Kasi hindi lahat pwede mo ipasok sa same case. Hindi lahat mabilis yung learning curve nila, hindi lahat may gets agad. So, very important talaga na yung mentor nakakapag-adjust doon sa needs nung student. Na figure out niya or na iintindihan din niya yung situation ng student. So, as a mentor, ang pwede mo gawin dyan is you find ways para matulungan yung student na yun while hindi naman nako-compromise din yung time mo as a mentor or time mo sa sarili mo as a mentor. Kasi baka pag marami kang students and lahat sila kailangan ng 3 hours each, talagang mauubos yung oras mo as a mentor, di ba? So, maganda dyan is dapat yung mentor nakakaisip din siya ng ways para mabibigay niya yung message niya, matuturo niya ng tama yung mga needs ng mga students without compromising his own health, his own life. Yun.
Thank you. Napakaganda ng sinabi ni Melvin. Bigyan natin isang bagsak si Melvin. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Some students kasi they think na meron tayong unlimited time eh. And that's why parang mapansin mo may mga salty na butthurt na mga individuals yan na parang, well, kung effective talaga yung system mo, bakit hindi mo na lang ituro ng libre? Well, ako kunyari, let's put tayo sa context ng coaching. Okay, so right now may mga kino-coach kami na free and then meron din naman mga hindi na free. Na kung ayun yung rationale na sasabihin ng iba, bakit hindi mo na lang i-free, no? As much as I would want to teach the 7 billion people in the world about trading, kunyari let's say I want to give kunyari 1 hour na coaching. Kung 1 hour na coaching, I only have 24 hours. 24 coaches per day. 'Di ba? So onti lang yung, 'di ba? Parang what makes you say na ikaw yung dapat na nandun sa 24 hours? Paano ko pipili as a mentor? Nagigets nyo ba? Kasi mayroong mga salty na dun nang gagaling eh. Na parang iniisip nila na parang gusto nila tayong alilain. Na parang wala tayong sariling time, wala tayong sariling health. Gusto nila maglumpasay tayo, magturo ng libre. Ang usual ko sinasabi dyan, ikaw meron ka bang work? Meron kang work, di ba? Anong work mo ngayon? Accountant? Or lawyer, di ba? Gano'n ka nakatagal? So, kumita ka na pala, ibigay mo na rin ng libre. Or let's say, sabihin ko kay Bill Gates! Ang laki na ng kinita mo sa Microsoft, you're one of the richest men in the world. Pwede bang libre na lang yung computer mo? Kung talagang gumagana yung computer mo, pwede bang libre na lang yung Bill Gates? Kasi mayaman ka na eh. Di ba? It doesn't work that way. Di ba? And ito realization ko recently, think about this dahil kayo may mga programs kayo. There's a resistance, and sinabi ko to sa sa Goal Getter Mastermind about sa resistance ng tao kung bakit ayaw nilang mag-shell out or mag-invest ng learning fee sa isang mentorship program. And I found out or I observed yung isa sa pinakamalaking reasons kung bakit ayaw nila. Hulaan nyo kung ano. Huwag nyo na pa lang hulaan, baka tumagal tayo eh. Sasabihin ko na lang.
Sasagutin ko. Hindi, nasanay na Brad. Nasanay ng libre.
Nasanay na libre ang education. Since kindergarten,
Parents
preschool,
nagbabayad.
grade school, high school, college, parents, lahat nagbabayad ng education nila. So after college, bakit ako magbabayad ng education? Never naman ako nagbayad niyan. Diba? Pero kung kunyari, let's say, meron kang parent na, oy, sige, enroll ka dyan sa SSF, bayaran na kita. Diba? Oy, sige ma, kailangan ko yan. Diba? Andaling mag-aral. Pero kasi, this is the real world na. This is self-education na. Diba? Anong sabi ni Gene Rome? Formal education, yung grade school to college, will make you a living. Self-education, siguro yung after, will make you a fortune. So, nandito na tayo sa making a fortune. Diba? So, isa lang sa na-observe ko yun. Diba? Kasi tinitignan ko rin kung bakit itong mga students na to is bakit willing sila ako din mismo. Tinanong ko yung sarili ko, tinanong ko yung mga classmates ko sa QL, ino-observe ko sila bakit willing kayong mag-invest sa education nyo. Willing kayong mag-shell out. Yung iba sa kanila, entrepreneurial mindset na sila. Nung high school pa lang or nung college pa lang, nagbebenta. Si Audrey nagbebenta ng load. So alam niya yung value ng investment. Gets ako, ang dami kong businesses since mga bata. Nagtulak pa ako ng kariton dati. 'Di ba? Nag-iigib ako ng tubig for people. So, alam ko yung value ng investment, alam ko yung value na kailangan kong mag-invest para mag-thrive tong business na to. And yung iba naman is nag-working student nung college sila. Alam din nila yung value ng investment. So, that's why hindi sila nahirapan na after college is kailangan ko mag-invest sa sarili ko. Pagka sinabi mo na parang, oy, ito, self-learning, learning is about investing in yourself. Personal development is about investing in yourself. Investment yan? Oo, alam ko ang value niyan. Parang ganun pag sinabi sa kanila ng word na investment. So, gets nyo ba yun, guys? So,
yes.
nandun yung resistance na hindi sila nagbabayad kasi or hindi pa sila, o merong silang sponsor since nung bata sila about sa education. That's why they don't value self-education. Na nandito na tayo sa real world. Okay, so move on tayo. Let's go on to the next question, which is about, ano yung next question? About how are they mentoring me? How are they mentoring me? Ready na ba kayo, guys? Thumbs up if ready na kayo. Okay, good. Good. Let's go to John Maxwell.
How do they mentor me? In this part, I'm going to really talk about. I'm going to talk about mentoring in a crisis. Okay, this one's probably the most crisis related of the three questions. So how do I mentor people right now? Number one, they give me perspective. During a crisis time, what that mentor will do more than anything else is they'll help us continually see the whole picture. Because in a crisis, we see our picture. And they constantly are expanding us. Because what do leaders do? Leaders see more than others see. They see before others see. So they see this whole big picture. It's what I did a few weeks ago. Perhaps you're with me. We had over 1 million people with us. But it's what I did a few weeks ago when I talked about leading during a crisis. And one of the things I did is I said a crisis is quite common. Now, I wasn't trying to undermine or underestimate the coronavirus. I wasn't doing that at all. But what I was trying to do is to help everybody understand that this isn't the first crisis, won't be the last crisis. It's not even the biggest crisis. It's just a crisis. But the tendency is that for emotions to rule during a crisis to where we think that what we're in right now is the worst thing that's ever happened, and it's never happened before, and it's never been so bad, and it's just not true. My good friend Simon Sinek, we were texting back and forth the other day, and he said, John, listen to this, and he sent me a great podcast. And basically on it, he was talking to his team. And one of the things he said to them, these are not unprecedented times. In other words, I want you to know, Simon's saying to his team, don't ever think that like this is the biggest, worst thing that's ever happened and I happen to be living during it and I'm right in the middle of it. You see, when we're in a crisis, the number one question people are asking right now is how do we get through this? My gosh, how long is it going to last? How am I going to get through it? Am I going to make it? You see, the question shouldn't be how am I going to get through this? The question should be how am I going to get better because of this? How am I going to improve? When the crisis is over, do I come out better or do I come out bitter? And wow, that's a huge issue. And so I want to get perspective in the crisis. I want to make sure that we have reality, but we also have hope. Alan Malawi, a wonderful friend, was the CEO that turned Ford Motor Company around. I mean, it's an incredible story. I think it's called the book, The American Dream. I read it. It's a thick book, but it's an incredible story. And when they were bleeding billions of dollars and Ford was in trouble and there was a lot of emotion and they were in a huge crisis. And Alan Malawi's calming influence through all of this. I mean, every day they're checking to see where they are and are they going backwards still or are they starting to slow the tide down? And his phrase he continually used was, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to make it. It's okay. It's okay. Well, all Alan Malawi was doing is he was just giving perspective. He was not only giving perspective, he was showing perspective in a crisis. So how do they mentor me? Well, the first thing, they give me perspective. Number two, they share out of their personal life. Now, this one I just am passionate about, and I want to do a good job. I hope I do a good job for you. What I'm saying here is when I talk about they share out of their personal life, most mentoring is telling, where if I'm mentoring you, I sit down and you would maybe ask questions, and I tell you what I've learned and those type of things. And kind of telling is where you sit down and I tell you what I think you need to know. Sharing, and we're talking about sharing out of our personal life. Sharing is where instead of you sit down, I kind of tell you what I think you probably need to know. If I share with you, I say, you know what, just here, sit right beside me. Sit right beside me, okay? And I want you to sit beside me because I want you to experience what I experience. I want you to feel what I feel. I want you to see what I see. I want you to watch me as we're in this crisis. It's the power of proximity to a great extent, but sharing basically is inclusive. It's not, I know something you don't know, I'm going to teach you, although mentoring has that, no question about it. It's kind of like, I'm going to let you on the inside. I'm going to let you see me. It's what I tell communicators all the time. And leaders, do you want fans or friends? If I want fans, I'm going to constantly make sure that my level of excellence is so far above yours that you just can applaud me, but you can say, wow, that man is amazing, but I can never achieve what he achieves. That's the kind of leader that wants fans. If I want friends, I'm going to walk slowly through the crowd. I'm going to have this sharing spirit. I'm going to basically say, Come with me. You can see me. You can see me in my strengths. You can see me in my weaknesses. You can see me with my questions and doubts. You can see me when I'm strong. Just here, sit beside me. Sit beside me. That's powerful mentoring. And in this crisis, that example that you show people is just going to be huge in really developing them well. So, when I have you sit beside me, there are three things I'm going to just make sure that you partake in this journey. One is the source of my strength. If you sit beside me, I want you to see me go to the source. Now, I'm going to have to stop here for a moment and just say to you know this already, but I really always try to keep fairness with all of my friends because I love everybody unconditionally. People that don't have my viewpoints, people that don't have my faith, it doesn't matter. You couldn't stop me from loving you if you tried, okay? I love you unconditionally, but I am a person of faith. So if you were with me, I would take you to my source of strength. I would take you to the well that I go to where I draw the water. And for me, it's my faith. It's my relationship with God. Every day I'm reading Psalm 112. And the reason I'm reading it is because it's fantastic. And I not only read it, but I pray it. And again, let me just say to you, just put your fingers in your ears. You don't want to hear this, but I'm only going to be here for a moment. My name's John. You know you can trust me. I'm your friend. Always have been your friend. But when you read Scripture, it's wonderful. But when you pray Scripture, you put yourself in it. You put yourself in it. And I'm just going to just give me a moment, because in Psalm 112, and I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to read just a couple, 3 verses. When darkness overcomes me. Now, see, I'm praying this. I put myself into the Scripture now. When darkness overcomes me, light will come bursting in. I will be kind, merciful, generous, and fair as I conduct my business, so that all goes well with me. I will not be overthrown by evil circumstances. God's constant care for me will make a deep impression on all who see it. And I do not fear bad news, nor live in dread of what may happen, for I have settled in my mind that God will take care of me. And that's why I'm not afraid, but I can calmly face my foes. I will give generously to those in need. My deeds will not be forgotten, and I shall have influence and honor. I love that. I have settled in my mind that God will take care of me. That's my source of strength. In fact, when I am with my beautiful friends that I dearly love, and they're not people of faith, sometimes I look at them and just say, I just wish you had my faith. I'm not trying to convert you. I just wish you had my faith. Because that's where my strength is. That's where my peace is. That's where my joy is. I mean, if you have something that helps you, you want it to help others. And so anyway, I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm just saying to you that in mentoring in tough times, as they sit beside you and you're sharing, you got to let them know where your source is. And your source may not be God. It may not be Scripture. But what's your source? Where do you go for strength? Because you have to have a source that anchors and stabilizes you so you can do that for others. You cannot give what you do not have. Just can't do it. The second thing that I want to do when I'm mentoring a person during a crisis is I want to share with them what I'm experiencing, my emotions. I want to be raw with them, and that's why I want them beside me. See, if I teach them later, I may skip some of my negative emotions, because can I tell you, for example, with the coronavirus, I was over in Israel when it started hitting the world and hitting the United States, and my first emotion to this was anger. I was just mad. And the reason I was angry is because I thought there's a lot of emotional people that are leading, and now the leaders are going to have to respond to a bunch of fearful people. Now, I'm not saying that's the right perspective. It certainly is an emotional perspective, and it was a negative with me because I was angry about it. But if you're beside me, I'm going to tell you I'm angry about this. I don't like it. And then I got really frustrated because as I got back and everything began to cancel, all of a sudden the next 2.5 months, my schedule was all messed up, and I lost. I lost all kind of times when I could help people and add value to them. And one of my losses was I was supposed to go to the Vatican at the end of this month, and Pope Francis had given me the invitation to speak with him on leadership, and we were having a master class with the Pope, and all that was gone. And so I was extremely frustrated, and I was disappointed. Okay. But I had positive emotions too. I was invigorated. I mean, I don't mean this unkindly, but during a difficult time, the darkest time is when the leader goes, touchdown, hello, this is why I'm born, this is what I do. This is why I was born for this. So it's invigorating me because it keeps me in my leadership zone all the time. And I have creative emotions because I know there's an answer. So I'm looking for that answer. And I'm grateful right now because I have forced rest time, and it's helped me with my health. And I have a book on transformation, Change Your World, that I've needed to write. And now I've got time to write it. So anyway, but let them sit beside you and let them feel the emotions that you're going through. They need to see that. They need to see your good days. They need to see your bad days. Remember, people don't want a perfect leader. They want an authentic leader. They'll connect with you. If you want to impress people, talk about your success. But if you want to impact people, talk about your failures. They'll let them in the seat beside you. Let them be close to you at this time. So I'm going to share with you what my source is during difficult times. I'm going to share with you what I'm experiencing emotionally during these difficult times. And the third thing I'm going to share with you is what I'm learning. because there are tremendous lessons to be learned. And I'm working real hard every day saying, okay, what am I learning? So when somebody comes and says, they talk to me about a failure in their life, I care for them, so I listen to their failure. But honestly, as soon as they're done telling about the mess up they've had in their life, the question I have for them is, well, what did you learn? Because the value of failure is us learning something that changes us. So, I started putting some things down on my notes on what I'm learning. I don't have time to give all of them to you, but let me just give a few of them. For example, a crisis will prioritize for us what we won't prioritize for ourselves. That's true. That this coronavirus has taken all the stuff that we've been doing, and it's just very quickly said, okay, now what's really important? What's really important? I mean, whether it's going back to values and family, or whether it's going back to the relationships we have in life. I mean, what's really important? A crisis just moves us around, and all those priorities, some of those things that we thought was so important, we're realizing now that wasn't that important. So if we don't prioritize our life, then a crisis or something difficult has to come to kind of shuffle us around so we can look and say, what's really important to me? Another thing I'm learning is that uncertainty causes really more stress than bad news. I give the analogy of going to the airport and wanting to catch a plane when we could go to the airport and get a plane. And so you get there and you get to the gate and you realize the plane's late and you have maybe a connecting flight. And so immediately you ask yourself, can I still get on this delayed flight and make my connecting flight? And so for maybe the next 15 minutes, you're just kind of uncertain, and your stress level goes up because you're not really sure this is going to take on time, and everything's in the air. Everything's uncertain. You just don't know. Well, let's say they all of a sudden come over the intercom and they basically say, look, this plane now is going to start even later than we thought. And so they give us a time, and the time they gave us, we realize, oh, okay, that's horrible news. I'm not gonna make that connecting flight. But the stress level goes down when you know you're not going to make the connecting flight. The bad news is less stress on you than not knowing what's going to happen. Because now that the bad news has happened, you say, okay, now I've got to make alternative plans. It's back into my control. Uncertainty, what makes uncertainty so difficult for us is that it's out of our control. We can't do anything about it. Another lesson that I'm just loving and learning and teaching is that respect is gained on difficult ground. It really is. If you're a leader and you lead well during this crisis for your people, can I tell you something? When you come out of that crisis, the respect they have for you will just heighten. The highest authority is not positional authority, it's moral authority. And moral authority is truly when you have been proven, tested, and you have done extremely well. After a while, you have an authority that's beyond any kind of legal ramifications. You have an authority that people just say, I follow that person because they've been tested and I've watched them being tested. If everything worthwhile is uphill, and it is, and it looks like this during a crisis, it's like this. Well, let me tell you something. If you can get through that crisis and lead through that crisis and help people get through that crisis, you're going to gain respect. You're going to come out of this with more respect from the people that you lead, and more authority than you've ever had. Another lesson I'm just practicing every day is it's from the scripture, but it doesn't matter. It applies to you too, and that is give thanks in all circumstances. Boy, that's a relevant word, isn't it? Give thanks in all circumstances. It doesn't say give thanks because you're in a bad situation, but just give thanks because you're in it. In all circumstances, no matter what it is, because it's going to, with the right perspective, it's going to make you and I better. Boy, a lesson I'm learning right now is a crisis lets me know that if my living and my talking match. I write books, I teach, and I give principles out, but when a crisis comes, all those things I teach that just sound good that you write them down, they're getting tested now. I mean, are my values truly great values? It's going to be tested during the crisis. Are my principles and the truth that I teach and embrace, is it real truth? Wow. Well, there are other things I have here, but time's kind of getting away from me, and so it's wow. Well, okay, I'll give you just one more. Just one more. Now, this is personal. I probably shouldn't give it to you because I need to have time to teach on it. I don't have time to teach on it, but I'm going to just put it in as a thought for you. It's good to realize that we're not in control. And it's bad that a crisis has to remind us of that fact. What a crisis does is it humbles us. I know for a fact after 9/11, because literally after 9/11, that next Saturday, I did a huge simulcast across America called America Prays, and I raised over $6 million in 5 minutes for that situation, and I put it through I put it through World Vision. I didn't put it through my nonprofit. I wanted to have a arm's length from it so everybody know I'm not getting anything out of it myself. And so we raised $6 million, and literally the next week I'm in New York City being led by the leaders of New York City because of what we had done. So I'm going through these areas, and I'm seeing the smoldering in everything that's happening, and and so I'm watching. I'm observing it. And in that process is while I'm watching it, while I'm observing it, there was a sense of humility among those New Yorkers like I have never seen before in my life. And I'm just telling you, it's good for me, it's good for you. It's good for all of us to realize that we don't always have the answers. We're not quite as big as we think we are. We're not quite as important as we think we are. And that we need faith and we need relationships. And that we are our brother's keeper. These are just things that center us and get us back to basic good values that are valuable.
Okay. Yo.
Dami nun ah.
Bigat na, no? Ang bigat, Brad. Ang bigat, ang sobrang juicy.
Pero
Ikaw
sa
ang
pakinggan,
inaano eh.
ang sarap pakinggan.
Sarap
Oo.
pakinggan.
Ang dami mong maiko-connect sa sa experience mo talaga eh.
Okay, sige. Ang question niya dito is how is the mentor mentoring you? Parang ganon. If you're a student, how is this mentor mentoring me? Paano daw ba nangyayari ang mentoring? So he mentioned about binibigyan niya ng perspective yung student. More on top dun sa information na nangyayari. Let's say sa inyo, how to trade. And then on top of that is binibigyan niya rin ng perspective, different perspective yung students. And ito yung pinaka nag-resonate sa akin, Brad, yung about sa personal life. Personal life nung
Pareho tayo.
Sharing.
Yung sharing. Kumbaga parang dun mo masasabi that the mentoring is not just about transactional, na parang after the class, kanya-kanya na tayo. Hindi na tayo friends, ano. Ito yung isang naging pivotal moment sa personal development ko as a student and as a mentor. Nalalaman ko na lumalalim yung relationship ko doon sa mentor ko kapag nag-uumpisa ko nalalaman ko na yung mga nasa personal niya na buhay. So, ako naman ngayon ay hindi yung ginagawa ko na kapag yung mga mini-mentor ko, nalalaman ko na rin na lumalalim yung relationship namin kapag alam ko na yung mga personal na buhay nila. So, in other words, kapag hindi mo man lang alam yung pangalan ng aso ng mini-mentor mo or pangalan ng kapatid ng mini-mentor mo, hindi mentoring yon. It's just basic teaching or instructor yon. Hindi yun mentor kasi very transactional yon. Gusto ko na yung mentor ko is tinuturuan ako about personal life. Kumbaga, saan ka ba nanggagaling? More than kasi yung information itself, that's the what to think part eh. Gusto kong, I want to dig deeper dun sa pag-iisip mo. Gusto kong ituro mo sa akin yung how to think na part. And hindi niya maituturo yon kapag hindi ko nalalaman yung mga pinagdaanan niya sa buhay. Di ba? Pagka hindi ko, kumbaga parang, ganito ka pala mag-isip kasi namolestya ka pala nung bata. Di ba? Parang ganun. Kung meron na kayong, hindi sa'yo ikikwento ng mentor mo yun kung wala kayo dun sa deeper level ng relationship.
Totoo.
Yung personal na ganun. So parang, di ba? Pagdating kasi sa learning, ang pinaka pagdating sa sa level ng personal level, ang pinaka naman diyan is yung books eh. Books talaga totally wala masyadong personal level kasi halos wala nga mentoring na nangyari doon. It's just plain information. Basahin mo 'yan. Kung may tanong ako, mag-research ka na lang. Pero hindi mo na ako makokontak. And that's one of the reasons kung bakit until now hindi ko pa nailalabas yung book ko. Kasi parang it's too impersonal for me. Diba? Kunyari, let's say, ito si John Maxwell, mayroon akong mga nabasang book niya, pero hindi ko siya pwedeng matanong. I-PM ko siya na, oy, meron akong hindi naintindihan na phrase dito or na paragraph dito sa book mo na Leaders Ask Good Questions or Good Leaders Ask Questions. Hindi niya sasagot sa akin. So, ayun yung book. Now, sa kabilang side ng spectrum, yung mentoring, ito na yung parang doon na pwedeng alam ba ng mentor mo yung pinagdadaanan mo talaga. Alam niya ba na yung asawa mo is na-diagnose ng cancer recently? Alam niya ba or ikaw ba kung may mentis ka, alam mo ba na yung kapatid niya is natanggal sa trabaho? And ayun yung wala ako before. Ayun yung natutunan ko before. So kaya that's why right now very personal ako pagdating sa mga mini-mentor ko. Mas before tayo mag-usap about trading, about problema mo sa trading, gusto ko muna kitang kamustahin kung kamusta na si ate mo, maganda pa ba? De joke lang.
Sino yan?
Sabi na loaded yung statement na yun.
Alam mo yung mga ganong klaseng level. Kasi tayo, we want to grow as mentors as well. Diba? Siyempre, meron tayong mga programs na, yung mga basic programs. Kunyari, if I want to conduct a webinar, definitely hindi ako makakapunta ron sa level ng personal level. Pero kung kunyari, let's say, if I want to conduct a 2 months, 3 months, or even 1 year na mastermind or na mentoring program, kailangan magka-personalan kami. So that's why it's very important sa akin. Kaya ngayon, hindi ko ituturing na mentor yung isang tao kung hindi niya ako tinuruan about life. Mas mahalaga sa akin yung turo niya about life kaysa yung about sa information. Kasi kung nangyari about trading yan, about marketing. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for teaching me marketing skills. Pero I want to dig deeper dun sa personal mo. So, ayun yung criteria ko na ngayon sa mentor.